Hi, my name's Paul. I'm here to demonstrate the installation of the Emperor wet area system. This system I've developed over the last few years. I believe it's the best wet area shower system in the country. With ease of getting at the waterproof membrane for the life of the shower, we've created this model just so we can demonstrate the installation without being on site. So you've got an installation coming up for the Emperor shower system. You really need to be keeping in touch with the builder and perhaps the designer so that everything's set up for you when you get on the job. So the floor needs to be dropped from the true level of the floor. It needs to be dropped by 80 mil. Everything's formed down to the waist as normal. A 2-degree slope is plenty. So whether it's a wooden floor or a concrete floor, the same applies, 2 degrees, and that will accommodate for these stands which are adjustable. They allow for a 2-degree fall. Now, with a concrete floor, that needs to be done from the planning stage for the whole house. You can't go and retrofit into a concrete floor. The simple fact is that the gully trap outside for the main drain will be too high, and to change all that just gets a bit difficult. From the planning stage, I put a few in now in new homes with concrete floors, and it's just a matter of allowing for the drainage so that everything's 100 mil below what it normally is. Wooden floors, easy enough, retrofit. Upstairs especially, because if there's any water leakage with that, it can cause major damage. With this system, it's a very simple fix if anything happens. So they're ideal for upstairs. And yeah, really it's just keeping in touch with the builder. Go on site, make sure he understands your requirements. With that 2-degree fall, the waste itself doesn't have to necessarily be in the centre. But anyway, you can organise that with the builder. Wooden floors, they cut into the joist. They just re-strengthen the joist to the code. And that's a very simple fix. There's plenty of room in the cavity to do it. Well, as far as materials are required, that will come in as a kit from the Emperor company. Tools required, you'll have that basic toolkit as a tiler anyway, but you'll need the ability to cut compressed sheet on site, as these are all vary in size and they're built in situ. The stands will come in the kit. They also have a little rubber pad which must be under the stand so there's no wear and tear on the membrane. Now we'll get on to the installation. I've pre-cut some what we'll call compressed sheet. It's not actually, but it's a model of it. This is pre-cut, and it's whatever that cavity is there, I've gone less 10 mil. So that allows 5 mil either side. The open grout line around there is actually a bit smaller, so you don't see any of this panel as you're looking down, and the tile itself will actually cantilever over it by a few mil. We've wrapped that in membrane, which we'll explain a wee bit later on. We get this set up in there, onto these stands. Now this has to be set at below, you've already got these tiles laid, so you need to be setting this below the true floor height. So you need to allow, for one, the adhesive, and the tiles in here and the shower itself need to be a wee bit lower than what the floor is going to be, just by a couple of mil. It just stops any water tension, etc., and the water that will cascade over the side, it's free to run. These adjustable stands, they come with fins on them. Now these are designed for a different purpose, but we've made adjustments to them so we can use them in here. Now these fins, they come there and there. They're normally made for pavers, so the pavers sit there. What we do for where the panels meet, we take 2 fins off. The ones that go under the panels, we take all fins off. Now I use a renovator tool. Everyone's probably got one of those. Or you can use your diamond tip grinder, whatever suits. But as long as you get all the slag off there, so there's nothing hard that will wear its way through the membrane on the panels. But basically these are an adjustable stand. We've got it in there, we get our level across, we get that in there, adjust that up. So it's very important those pads are under there, and you adjust that up, and there's no movement there at all. And with the compressed sheet, with the weight of the compressed sheet, that will hold it in place. You can adjust this as much as you need to. Get your grout lines lined up, Oh, and a consideration really, if the wall tiles are the same size as the floor, then you need to be laying the walls first. And you can line up where they're going to go with a laser or a straight edge, just so that the grout lines line up. And the wall tiles need to come down 10 mil or so below the true floor tile. And that means that when you got the floor set up in here, you can't see any bottom edge of the tile, and it just looks looks a lot better than having them cut up to the edge. So anyway, we've got one panel in there. We get that set up. It's nice and firm. It's not rocking at all. Take that panel out. Now I've pre-cut another panel just for the ease of demonstration. Then we set this one up. And the reason I do that is so that we can get under there and adjust the stands. So we adjust that side as well. We know that one's true, so just don't touch those while you're setting this one up. Set those up to where you want them to be. That's about where it wants to be. Get this panel back in. Get that to where you want it to be. And now we can start laying the tiles. So here we go. I've already pre-cut these tiles. So you get the first one in here. Get that set. You're obviously laying adhesive there as well. This is the next tile, which this is all pre-cut just for ease of demonstration. That's going in there. Next tile's in here. Now when you're cutting the tiles to go into this area here, the tile itself needs to be cut back 4 mil to allow that seeping drain. And that applies all the way around. When there's full tiles next to each other on the outside edge, 3 mil suffices there. But around the back, against the wall, I just like to have a 4 mil gap. It just gives you a wee bit of play. So we've got those set with the obvious 3 mil gap in here. Now we're not using adhesive or anything, just for ease of demonstration. Now that's set. We've got the 4 mil gap around here, obviously 3 mil between the full tiles on the outside edge. And it all comes down to planning. You're not always going to get a full tile from the bathroom floor to the shower floor, but when you don't, then you need to be cutting that as 3 or 4 mil. So everything's got to line up with the grout lines. And once you've got that set, let that set overnight. You're coming back the next day, or carry on with whatever else you're doing on the job. You come back the next day onto this floor. I'd put a broad knife down there prior to grouting. So you grout through here, clean that up. Same here, broad knife down there so that you don't get any grout oozing down into the well. Grout that, let that set, and then once that's dry, it's just a matter of putting a small bead of silicone around the corner, between each panel here, like a T, around the corner, T there, and that only needs to be sort of 10 mil either side of the corner or the edge. And all that does is just keeps it all central, and there's no slippage. So we're all quite happy. All the stands are adjusted to the correct height. There's no wobbling or anything. So really, in effect, that's it, finished. Nice seamless symmetry for the whole tiled floor. Now, as you can see, I've deconstructed this so that we can summarise a few of the very important points. I've taken that panel out. I'll just take this one out as well. We'll get that out of the way for the moment. Now, the important thing is when you've got the builder setting up this, what we call the well, you want a 2-degree fall down to the waste, down to the tiled waste. We don't show it waterproof at all. I just need everyone to understand that the fall is down to that waste, to the tile waste. With these adjustable stands, which remember have to go on these rubber pads, we do not want them on or anywhere too close to the waste. But the simple fact is there's going to be quite a bit of weight and pressure on this, and we don't want that moving from the weight of people standing on it. So it's hard to do in this model, but I would have one either side of the waste like that. And in reality, you'd have another one out here just to support it so there's no tipping. Okay, so you're down 80 to 100 mil from the true floor level, through true bathroom level. We've got that sorted out. The panels, we're cutting the panels on site, remember, out of compressed sheet, very heavy. And what I do, and what you need to be doing, what I've done, I've got a flat disc on my grinder, and I round off that edge. Now, the simple reality is, a rounded edge has less chance of the membrane failing. If you've got a very sharp edge, it comes together like to a point, and it's very easy to bruise or damage that while you're constructing this. So round it off, and it just becomes one flat surface. The membrane's going to stay there forever, and it's unlikely to chip and then expose the compressed sheet. With the adjustable stands, you're probably looking at about 10 to 12 per square metre, but that will come in the kit that's supplied by Emperor Company. Now, the gap around here needs to be, well, it's going to be 3 mil where the 2 full tiles meet. It's going to be 3 mil where the 2 panels meet. Now, you must have 2 panels, you can't have one, because one, you've got to get it in there and you've got to get your hand under there to adjust the stands. Take that out, do the other one as you saw earlier in the demonstration. The bigger the shower becomes, then it's more than likely that you'll have more panels. Now, the panels will be, the consideration of the size of the panel is the size of the tile. If they're a smaller tile, then you can have 2 or 3 tiles on one panel. If they're a bigger tile, like a 600 by 600, then the panel sizes need to be 600. If it goes out to 800 from the centre, then your panel's 800. A full 600 tile, and then the piece that you're putting in there on the outside. So a 4 mil gap around the outside. We'll put the panels back in just to show you a wee bit more about the finishing. Now the panel here. Now the beauty of this really is there's no mitre cuts, there's no visible waste, it's a dead flat floor. So really it's a truly level entry, level floor. So here we go, we've got first full tile. Got that set up. So we've got a 3 mil gap there. There's going to be a 3 mil gap here because the fins on these deck jacks are 3 millimetres. So that just ties in with the 3 mil spaces we use in the tiling game. That one's over there. So as you can see, it's very simple to put together, and it really is this easy. Once you've got your tiles cut, and that's it. So what happens in effect, we grout, the panel's going this way, remember? We grout through there, broad knife on each end so there's no grout going down into the well. Same with this side. So in effect, this around the outside and between the panels is now the drain. Water hits here, cascades over, runs down here, runs through here, runs out all the way around the shower floor. So there you go, 3 or 4 mil gap around there, 3 mil there because you've got the full tile, 3 mil there because of the fins on the stands, and that's it. And what we do then is a small bit of silicone in the corner, 10 mil either side from the corner, same here, 10 mil either side from the grout line, 10 mil in, same here, same here, same here, same here. So this is open all the way through there, this gap's open all the way through here, and all around here is open apart from where the silicone is. So this is where the water's flowing. No visible waste, no unsightly drain, and that's the finished product. Well, as far as grout cracking on the panel, that hasn't been an issue in the past. Not an issue at all. Compressed sheet's very stable. Yes, this system is patent protected, the Emperor wet area system, and all componentry must be bought through and the shower's registered with the Emperor company. Well, in regard with the screw jacks, it's roughly between 10 and 12 per square metre. The screw jacks are very stable. They've been well tested. They're New Zealand made, and each one will hold 1 tonne point loading. Yes, all componentry has been independently brands appraised. Well, as far as nibs go, they may be needed in some circumstances, but in general, this system is designed to be the well sunk into the floor by 80 to 100 mil, and therefore giving you a completely level entry, level shower. Well, in regard to the waste, in general terms, the direct stick method, you either have a central waste or a strip drain that goes the length of the shower. With the cost of the strip drain, which are quite expensive, you can have the whole Emperor system for a very similar cost. Yes, it can be retrofitted into an existing bathroom. There are a few issues that need to be addressed. One, is it a wooden floor? Yes, simple as anything. You can do it with any wooden floor at all. If it's a concrete floor, a bit difficult to do and probably not the right horse for that course. A wooden floor, certainly no issue at all. You can retrofit them in any wooden floor. In fact, they're ideal for an upstairs situation. This system is certainly earthquake friendly. The fact that the floor is independent from the wall or the floor itself, then it allows for a wee bit of seismic movement. The size, you can have any size you like, and the fact that it's a truly level entry shower, it's absolutely ideal for the elderly, the infirm. If someone's in a wheelchair, they can wheel straight in there, get onto a stable stool because there's no mitre cuts. They certainly don't need a horrible stainless steel stool that drops down from the wall. Well, in regard to, because it is a wet, damp environment in the well itself, under the subfloor, you may get a build-up of a small amount of grime, but in general terms, a proprietary product sprayed around the outside edge once every couple of months will certainly take care of that. Yes, the system it certainly covers you against any risk of waterproof failure for the life of the shower. So one, you've got the architect who's going to specify this type of shower because he knows it's going to last a distance. The builder's putting it in, he knows, he's got to stand by his work for 10 years. He knows that if there's any issue with the waterproof membrane failing, he can get the tiler back in there and for a few hours work, they can repair any damage that may have been caused through seismic movement or any other failure in the membrane. The homeowner, they're going to rest easy because they know that this system, if it fails beyond the warranty period, they can repair and keep the system going for 10 years and beyond. All materials will be supplied by the Emperor Company, along with a little tag that will go on a grout line. Each tiled shower with the Emperor system will be registered and installed by a registered installer, and he will place this in a grout line. So forever and a day, this shower will be recognised as the Emperor system. Well, the cost savings in general of this system are quite widespread. As everyone would know, and I've heard the horror stories of tile showers failing, they are very expensive to repair. You've got to destroy the whole thing to rebuild it. Very costly exercise. Homeowners don't want to do that. Builders don't want to be doing that. Tilers certainly don't. The major benefit of this shower system is the fact that you can get at the wall-proofing membrane at the floor-wall junction and around that waste for the life of the shower. Yes, risk is a major factor. In all the years I've been tiling and putting shower floors in, I always thought there must be a better way. If there's even a hint of a leak, you've got to destroy the thing. With this system, there's no destruction at all involved. Get the tiler, if you think it's going to leak or you think it's been leaking, get the tiler around. He can redress the membrane within a few hours. A couple of days later, your shower is up and running again.